Warning, the following show features constructive opinions performed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. The views expressed are ours and may differ from views of any other entity. Accordingly, the Tim Zabriskie Show and the producers must insist that no one recreate or reenact any conversation or activity performed on the show.
Can't finish the show in just one sitting? No problem. Listen to this and past episodes of the Tim Zabriskie Show on demand on all major podcasting networks, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and the iHeartRadio app. It's perfect for the ride home.
Share this podcast.
Haven't seen enough. He's standing up. Kidman's up top. Shooting star cross.
Phil, every time. Every time it looks horrible. Look at that. They stapled a cigarette to his head, Phil. And now he's going to be on TNT Dynamite, Phil.
Yes, Timmy, he is. Timmy.
He's smoking. Wow. Isn't that hilarious? What's up, guys? Tim Zabriskie here, back at it again with the brand new video. You know what would help this video, Phil? You want to know what would help? If I actually turn on my studio lights, am I right?
I was like, wow, you're pretty bright there, Tim. Everything looks colorful. Looks like a unicorn exploding.
Looking fantastic. Beyond ringside, thank you for giving us a share. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Tim Zabriskie, back at it again with the brand new vid. As always, with me, the man, the myth, the legend, the one, the only, the incomparable, the gallant, I don't even know what to call him, but except for the president of wrestling, Mr. Phil Stamper.
Now, I was sitting here like this for a long time, waiting for you to turn the camera, and I just kept going and going.
I'm sorry.
Gallant?
Gallant.
Gallant. I will accept gallant, sir.
Hashtag gallant.
I will accept it. Hashtag. I don't know what's with my... I've been in like full country twang mode today, and I really don't know why.
So you're gallant, is what you're saying.
I'm gallant.
You're gallant.
Gallant. Right.
I love it. So for each and every one of you that have never been here before, welcome. Thank you for joining us. What we do here on the channel here for this podcast is we, Phil and I, we go through all of the different cards of the upcoming pay-per-views for All Elite Wrestling, as well as for the big guys, WWE. Like right now, we are doing WWE Hell in a Cell. And what we do is we call our predictions for each and every one of the winners, and then we take that information and we as the show is happening, we compete. We compete is the word I was looking for there, Phil. And what we do is we go over the rankings. Now, based off of the last podcast that we did here, we had two different bets. It was 8-6, and not only did Phil win Clash of the Champions, we also had an individual bet for who was going to win the King of the Ring, whether it was going to be Baron Corbin or what's that other Gable?
Chad
Gable. Yeah. I went with Chad Gable because I thought that they were going to go with him, but Phil won that one as well, so he tied everything up 8-8. So Phil, congratulations.
Thank you.
So it looks like we got a game and what, like 12 more pay-per-views for the end of the year, which is
at least.
It's crazy. Phil, it's absolutely nuts.
And it's going to get nuts, even more nuts, as we have the rest of our conversation this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. So
so much is happening, Tim. It's premiere week.
It's premiere week. It is.
Premiere week.
It's insane, Phil. The whole thing is that there's all these different wrestling shows that are happening tonight. NXT versus All Elite Wrestling for their Wednesday Night Dynamite pay-per-view debuting tonight. Phil, it's incredible. Now,
it's superhuman jumping off of three steps into a toaster oven.
So, but before we get started, everybody, if you could do us all a favor and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow the page. Also, follow us on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/TimmyZ4674. Just look for the Tim Zabriskie Show, and we will pop right up as well. There, we do video games and everything like that too. And the phone lines are open there too, Phil. 518-350-4312. So if you're so inclined to do so, if you have any opinions on any of the shows that are happening tonight, give us a shout. Once again, it's 518-350-4312. And Mr. President of Wrestling, what do we have going on in the world of wrestling right about meow?
Right about meow. So tonight, of course, we are talking about, it's Wednesday, October 2nd when we record this. And we're live, Tim.
We are live. We are so live right now, you'd have no idea.
Is the premiere episode of All Elite Wrestling Dynamite and the second episode of NXT on the USA Network. We also have this weekend, Tim.
What's happening this weekend, Philly?
Tim. It's Hell in a Cell, Tim.
It's Hell in a Cell, Phil.
Hell in a Cell.
What's going to happen inside of that cell?
Well, Tim, we have a slight dilemma.
What's the dilemma?
WWE, multi-billion-dollar corporation, not the first time at plate when they getting ready for a pay-per-view.
Right.
With the legacy.
The legacy.
The reputation.
Are you talking about Ted DiBiase, Cody Rhodes, and Randy Orton? Legacy?
No, I'm talking about Hell in a Cell, Tim.
Hell in a Cell, Tim.
Hell in a Cell, Tim. Tim, there's only 3 matches announced for Sunday.
How are they going to do that, Phil?
Wow. There's a pretty good speculation out there about what else is going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, I don't know how we do this. Maybe we do a half-point bet on the first half point.
We're doing a half point already?
No, not. I'm messing this up. I'm already messing this up. All right,
what are you
doing?
Announced
matches. There's 3 announced matches. Typically,
half
Tim and
point?
we put a little bit of a wager on who's going to win, who's going to lose, maybe some extra points on
I'm going to turn off this
happen.
light behind me. Keep going.
All right. And then we total all of that together, and then one of us win the pay-per-view. So since there's only been 3 matches announced, what my proposal is, Tim, maybe do you want to go through the official 3 matches and then discuss what's rumored and make the rumored ones a separate full point and the 3 that are announced a separate full point? I don't know how you want to do this.
It's weird, Phil.
It is weird,
It's
Tim.
a numbers game, Phil. As a guy that works in sales, all right, where's the ratios?
Or do we half it? So like the full point that we would normally get for one full regular pay-per-view, we split it 3 and rumored half points. That's what I was talking, half points.
I guess Victor here wants a shout out. Victor, congrats on being cancer survivor. Yeah, cancer free since for over a year. Congratulations. Yeah, ECW awesome. Was good too. Yeah, obviously. I'm wearing the shirt. All right, continue, Phil. Continue with what you were saying there. Let's get Victor out of the way with this.
So if typically we do a whole pay-per-view and one of us gets a full point, do we split this in half? So the 3 announced matches, we pick winners. Whoever wins gets a half point towards our overall annual goal. And then for the rumored matches, there's another half point that we get out of that. Or do we do full point out of the 2 different batches of things? Or just screw it and talk about the 3, do a full point.
I think we should just do the full point for the 3 matches, and then what other rumors that you have, we'll
just discuss it.
We'll just discuss it.
Awesome. Let's start.
There's got to be a winner, Phil.
There's got to be a winner.
We can't be messing around with our points by I don't know,
right. Because I'm
with matches that could happen or not. What are you booking this in fucking Saudi Arabia with? We want the Yokozuna to come back. Managed by Bobby Heenan and
facing the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, have him face the never faced the Ultimate Warrior coming out with Paul Bear, right? Because we're Saudi Arabia and here's $1 billion. All right, we don't have that budget, Phil. That's why we can't book matches like this.
Let's do it, Tim. Let's do it.
All right, Phil. Well, this is gonna be.
I think
a fast podcast. We really underestimated this whole thing, but there's only 3 fucking matches on it. You know?
Right. I mean, and I guess there's a lot going on with WWE, and of course,
Yeah, we'll talk about everything else going on too. Yeah.
Right. Friday, of course, will be the debut of SmackDown on Fox. We'll talk more about that later. And maybe they're trying to entice people to watch SmackDown to find out the rest of the pay-per-view that's happening on Sunday. Tim.
Where, Phil?
It is happening Sunday on the WWE Network live from the Golden One Center in Sacramento, California.
Is that on the World Wide Web, Phil?
It is on the World Wide Web.
Is
Tim.
that at www.wwenetwork.com?
It is, Tim. Or go to WWE.com and click on the banner for the network.
Oh, okay. Well, wow.
See how that easy is? See how that easy is? Wow, Phil. I went a little Appalachian there, and I couldn't come back. Tim.
Nice, Brian. Brian was just at the ECW arena on Sunday.
Oh, Brian was. He was part of the New Japan experience as it came.
Wow,
My
cool.
understanding is Brian, I don't know if he ran the production crew. I know he certainly
Oh, that's
was.
awesome. Brian, what do you think of
it.
our production here for this little live stream we got going on? Yeah? Can we get
Look
two
at that
thumbs
light.
up? 2 thumbs up? And LED
But-
lights?
As he's going to respond, because it'll take a minute for him to respond. Let's go ahead and talk about what's
He's
happening.
gonna say, yeah, it looks visually great, but that piece of shit in the ECW shirt needs to take it home. That's what he's gonna say.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I mean, really.
Well, Tim, truth.
Speaking of home, Phil, do you want to tell the people what I did in the past month?
Tim bought a home.
We're just gonna make it laugh.
Maybe the dread and depression and anxiety sound. I don't know.
Phil, I think in the past month, no shit, I think I've spent $40,000 on everything.
That's it.
That's it. like closing costs and more money we've had to put in so far, and we're not even done. We're not even moved in, Phil. This is the same studio that we've been in this whole time in the apartment.
I actually thought I was going to see Timmy in a new room, in a different setup already.
But what's sweet though about buying your own home, Phil, is that I can make my own studio. So I'm gonna get like soundproof walls. These LED lights will be in like the middle of the wall and stuff. It's gonna be pretty gnarly. I'm gonna love it so hard.
Brian, the call-in number is 518-350-4312. That's 518-350-4312. Not just for Brian, for anybody else who'd like to call in. Tim!
Yeah, Brian. And if you're going to call in a live wire, you got to be prepared.
For the love of heaven. Tim, would you like to talk about our first? We can spread it out. How about we talk about it?
That's what I was doing, Phil, I was spreading this whole thing out because we only have 3 matches to go.
Well,
So that's why I was...
have the rumored ones.
Yeah.
So we have time. We have space and time and things and stuff, and I have things that I'm sure you're going to ask me about later before I get my head caved in with a baseball bat.
Oh, wow.
Sounds
Like a fun time.
Life in Sammy Callahan happens. Let's talk about Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan and the returning Luke Harper.
Thank God. You know what happened here. Oh, we got a call coming in already.
I hear music.
Hi, you're on Live Wire.
Hey guys, Tim Zabriskie. How are you?
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
What's going
Tired,
on?
still recovering. So
You had a very long weekend.
very long, exhausting weekend.
So you were doing production for New Japan?
Production and logistics, yes.
Very cool.
So we Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Boston, Hammerstein, and ECW Arena.
Fun
So
fact.
it was crazy.
Uh-oh.
Fun fact was that I used to work for the Hammerstein. I was in their sales department over there. In fact,
I'm sorry.
yeah, exactly. There's a reason why I said I used to be. Wow. No, but it was. But I was a part of the whole Ring of Honor coming back situation that they had there. Like I kind of helped. I didn't, come up with numbers for any of that, but I typed the numbers. If you get what I'm saying.
And Brian, I don't know how much you want me to discuss or share. I'll go until you stop me. Brian is also, I don't know if I'm using the right terminology. If you are the promoter, the owner of PWX in North Carolina as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow. Very cool.
Promoter, owner, COO, whatever you want to call it.
The man. Should we go with that?
The boss, as the other guys call me, just boss.
Oh, so you're Sasha.
Oh.
No.
Now, if you don't get your way, do you start laying on the ground in the dressing room, kicking and screaming?
Allegedly.
No, the face turns red, and then I pout.
Oh, okay. And then you pull off your red wig and as a blue one, or
the hair color changes from with gray to without gray. That type of deal.
That's fair.
Because in
the
wrestling
color
business,
change.
in the wrestling business, you either go gray or go bald.
That's true. That is legit. Well, Phil's both. Look at him. That's funny. So,
but
Phil,
no, it was a great weekend. I mean, we had a blast. I mean, 2 hours worth of sleep, and driving 3 hours in between venues is absolutely phenomenal.
Did you have a lot of interaction with the boys and everything?
Oh yeah. So I mean, we also did the New Beginnings tour, where we had the visa issues in Charlotte and Nashville, so we did that one for them.
Cool.
And then the three in the Northeast, and then we'll see where it goes from here. I've got a full schedule for 2020. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
And there was a little bit of controversy over the weekend with the New York location. I don't know if you want to talk much about that or say anything about that.
Yeah, I want to hear about this.
There was. I will refer people to the PW Insider article, and I'll leave it at that.
Does this have to do with the hammer sign? Is that what this is?
Again, we'll refer everybody to the PW Insider issue.
Yes.
Or article on it. It was crazy. Let's put it to you this way. If you're familiar with New York,
yes.
What is it? 35th Street is where the dock is.
Yep.
And then you've got, 8th Avenue below it?
Yeah, it's
right?
7th. It's between 7th and 8th, yeah.
Okay, so you ever taken an ambulance down the bike lane going the wrong direction on 8th?
No, but it sounds like one hell of a time.
Well, I have.
Oh, no.
Oh,
so
shit.
it was, yeah. So it was, we got it handled. Our production team, handled production, a little bit of the logistics, not much, just kind of liaison to them for the production side. Our along with High Spots, we use High Spots for our rings. So they, helped us out, had High Spots for the ring, and kind of put everything together for them. And then they keep all of their East Coast stuff with us.
Wow.
When they're not. Yeah. So, there's a lot of stuff in the works. I'm very, very excited.
Great.
Looking already working on 2020. So I'm already past, I got the expense report done today. So that's literally where I'm at. So, and then immediately I'm working on 2020 for both PWX and some, assisting of New Japan. I'll word it like that. So
that's awesome.
It's full schedule, man. I think I'm working on 52 shows next year. Mm-hmm. If you combine both companies. So
because you also have, as part of PWX, a sort of a combined entity, but sort of standing alone, is the PWX Pure brand, which is giving opportunities to additional independent wrestling talents to give them a showcase to shine, where they might, I don't say they won't typically, but giving them that extra opportunity in addition to your regular PWX shows as well.
Yeah, it's so we have 3,500 square foot in Charlotte, 6 figures worth of production. It's as close as you can get to an old NWA set as possible, which also a lot of our guys were down there Monday, Tuesday.
Cool.
Caleb Conley and some of the other guys were assisting with that. So we had a split crew. So, half of us went to the Northeast and the other half went to Atlanta helping. And I wouldn't say my crew, but maybe, High Spots and then High Spots trainees, and helped. We were all over the map when it comes to what we're working on, both at High Spots and at PWX now. But yeah, so we have we bring in guys and we try and use people who have less than 5 years with PWX Pure, and you'll have to forgive the noise. I'm still at the regular job for a few more hours, but it's been fun. I was blessed with a nice building and a lot of nice stuff came with it. So we're using Pure there. So we're doing 12 to 16 there. Plus we, do private events and birthday parties and other promotions use it. Like Queens of Combat will be there on the 19th of October, and then we're running the day after on the 20th with Pure. Plus then our traveling shows. So it's
nice.
You have a very, very steady, hectic schedule.
Yeah. But all right, bud, we're gonna let you go though. Yeah, I can let you get enough fucking plug in there. All right.
I'm having a good.
We're proud of you,
Brian.
You're making money in the business. We get it. All right.
I'm having fun, man. You got to have fun when you stay busy. Here's one for you.
I hear you. No, we're having fun, but
Well, I know you got to get back.
If I give you 5 more seconds of plug, you got to start paying me. All right, that's how this works.
Well, I'm gonna leave you with this. Any information anyone needs is at pwxpro.com.
All right, get out of here.
Later.
Or
Later,
Brian.
Brian
could book us.
You could book us. Yeah. Oh no, he's already off the phone. Damn it.
Damn.
Did I ruin that? Is this what happens, Phil? Any opportunity we have to make money, I ruin it?
You did how you ruined the opportunity to sell your Ric Flair video, and instead you were like, get away, Brian. I don't need to talk to you wrestling. What is wrong with you?
Listen, all right?
Engagement, Tim.
I get that. But at the same time, he really was getting really into it.
Let him there, though, Tim. You were the one who was like, we need to kill time because WWE's only announced 3 matches for Sunday.
I understand, all right, but I mean, come on. How long was he gonna go for? Somebody else just called and then they hung up. If you want to call back, go right ahead.
Link is like all sorts of things off of what? Okay, we're good. Totally good. Tim.
Did I just talk my way out of a sale, Phil? Is that what you're telling me?
All right. He did.
All right.
No wonder you don't work for Hammerstein Ballroom anymore.
Hi, you're on the air. And he hangs up again. It was the same phone number. Well, you can't hear us now? 518-350-4312 if you want to call in. You only get 30 seconds of self-promotion on this channel, Phil. Everybody knows that.
Tim wins everything.
Actually, true story, at my job, the hashtag that people use is hashtag Tim Never Wins. Which is another reason why I'm out of the wrestling business, Phil, because... Woo! All right, Phil, do you want to start talking about some of these matches now?
I guess we...
Did you see Ryan? He wrote, "Don't cut me off and ask for a job" in the same sentence.
There you go. Yes.
All right.
And I guess to be clear...
Are you there?
I guess to be clear, Tim was cutting you off, and I was asking for the job.
Phil was asking you for the job. Are you on the phone? The 606 number just keeps calling, and then they keep hanging up. You get one more time to call, otherwise I'm not answering for you anymore. All right? If you're gonna come on Live Wire, you got to be prepared.
Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous.
Exactly.
Damn, don't be nervous.
All right. Phil.
So why you should be nervous?
Why?
Oh, wait a minute. If my phone will do what I'm trying to get it to do at the same time.
Oh,
because I am the draw.
See?
Oh.
See? Oh. What is happening?
Yeah, Sammy's the draw. What do you want? He said it. I'm just repeating the quote. He's the... Oh my gosh! See now, Brian took everything that we said personally.
Oh, I love Tim.
Brian.
I love Brian right now.
Brian.
Brian and I understand it.
Yes.
I understand.
Yes. Brian, I didn't. Did I? If I hurt his feelings, did I? Is that what this is coming down to? I hurt that guy's feelings because he promoted himself for 3 minutes straight. And I was just like, oh, okay.
And I was feeding him, Tim. Like, he didn't.
No, I'm not talking about when you were engaging him on what he was doing. That was fine. But then when he went into business for himself. He was giving himself a self-speech.
I am sick of being disrespected.
Now I hurt the guy's feelings, Phil. Now I'm really never getting back into the wrestling business.
Timothy.
This is why I work sales now.
Mr. Zabriskie. Would you like to talk about Hell in a Cell?
Yeah. Let's talk about Hell in a Cell, Phil.
For the love of God.
Brian, I'm sorry if I offended you. Okay, good.
I'm mortified.
Good.
Daniel
It's all
Bryan
in fun. It's all in fun. All right.
It's real, man.
I know. I took it too far. You know why? It's because that my medicine.
There you go, Brian. I'm a promoter, a real promoter. I don't have feelings.
Yeah. No, it's good. That medicine I took is starting to kick in. So that's what.
I don't want the money.
How obsessive are you that you have a whole fucking sound bar with all of Sammy's things?
I may have, in my attempt to prepare for what's going to become my lifelong rivalry with Sami Callihan, I may have gone a little too far, Tim.
Yeah.
And cut a lot of different promos from the last 10 years.
It's almost as if you've tried to just become Sami Callihan a little bit.
The wig's in the bag already, Tim.
Yeah.
The wig's.
Yeah. When do you leave? 6 a.m?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Bright and early.
Yeah.
Flying to Des Moines, Iowa for Wrestling
Iowa.
Revolver. You can follow Wrestling Revolver on all social media platforms at PW Revolver.
Yes.
See, that's a plug, Tim.
Yeah, that was a fantastic plug. Now, did you talk about how great you are at the same time?
I am amazing, Tim. I am quite amazing.
Gosh.
That's why I run Wrestling Revolver, and nobody realized it, and they thought it was Timmy Callahan.
Yeah, they thought it was Timmy Callahan. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm not
from
even
from
like,
Callahan Auto Parts. Is that?
There you go.
How come you?
I'm not even.
Why
like,
haven't you done any sort of stuff with that? Like, why haven't you added Callahan Auto Parts?
Because that's where his name came from, like legitimate. Like,
oh.
Like, Cannonball Callahan.
Oh, jeez, I'm the worst.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
I thought that was his real name.
Sure.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay. And
like
I also thought that Kane and The Undertaker were brothers up until like 2 days ago, and their father was Paul Bearer.
And there were 2 Undertakers?
2 of them.
And the second one replaced the first one?
Just like the second Ultimate Warrior replaced the first one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What's that first match, Phil?
For the love of God, what happened? The first match is Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan and Luke Harper.
I know they haven't announced other matches yet, so I'm really just like, this is the opener of the card.
I feel like I'm part of the Gary Shandling show right now, and like just now the opening sequence has started as we're ending the show.
Yeah, exactly. You see what that sign says? It says applesauce. No, it says applause. Come on, Phil. Gary Shandling.
There. I'm there.
I'm not a professional athlete.
Hello. This person is a jackass because they keep calling.
All right. Then don't answer that number anymore, Tim.
I'm done.
Okay. So, Tim,
Yeah.
in this match of even when we talked about SummerSlam, we talked about how Eric Rowan was alleged at the time to have attacked Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
There were all sorts of things about how there was a redheaded, long-bearded twin or a lookalike of Eric Rowan that might have attacked Roman Reigns. It was rumored maybe it was Buddy Murphy. It was, who was driving the car. All these questions. Daniel Bryan was vouching for Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan was denying it. And then it finally comes out that Rowan lied to everybody. Everyone. Okay, it was everything, not everyone, but that's okay. And so, I'm trying to remember the last name of the pay-per-view. The last pay-per-view that we just had. Was that SummerSlam?
That was the Champions, the Clash.
That was Clash of the Champions. Sorry, brain just died on me totally. Yeah. Rowan then takes on Roman Reigns in a no disqualification match, winning thanks to Luke Harper returning to the WWE.
Yeah. So let's talk about that, Phil. Everyone's like, oh, he's definitely going to AEW. You know, they're not going to use him.
Release.
Let's be real. Like, I think we even said it on the show, and I really think that we did. I have to go back and listen. But I said that the fact that they fixed things with Sasha was just going to show that they were going to do this with Luke Harper as well.
I think Tim knows this a little bit about me. I am a little bit. What the hell was that?
You're on the air. You can't see.
I apparently hit auto narrator on my laptop or my computer. I don't know how I did that, but that was amazing. Anyway, so it started to read the Wikipedia entry for Hell in a Cell. Wow. What the hell is going on?
I was talking about Sasha's relationship being fixed with Vince, and now Brody Lee's is too. That's where I was.
I don't remember what I was going to say, but, everybody was questioning on what's happening, who's doing what, who's going where. Was all of this a big ploy? Maybe not. Was Luke really unsatisfied, unhappy? Maybe not. Who knows? And when you're competing at that level,
yeah,
it's hard because you're at that level, but then where else do you go? And there's as limited as the opportunities are to even get into the WWE, to then be on the main event level. Those mini spots are even less as open, and some of it's for a legitimate reason, which is what some of the complaints are now about, like Hell in a Cell and Monday Night Raw. This past Monday Night Raw, for example, the biggest rating spike they got on Raw was the segment with Flair and Hogan, and people seem to be surprised by that in one respect, and in another respect, they were like, "That's because WWE hasn't built any legitimate stars." And it's like, but they split so much of the difference inside that main event sphere, where for 8 years in the WWE, it was Hogan or nothing. And it was Ric Flair forever in WCW, and that's not a bad thing. But the time has changed.
Yeah.
WWE has built up their talent a lot differently because they saw when they built up people like a Steve Austin, a Rock, John Cena, that then they were going to have other opportunities at other places, whether, primarily now in Hollywood. So if they rested their morals on just one, or mores, I should say, on just one guy to be the heavy lifting guy, what happens when that guy leaves? And they haven't built up that next person up. So they have spread the wealth a bit. They do have Roman Reigns as that, as one of their main carriers. Daniel Bryan is always sort of a fan. I'm not hesitant to say he's a fan favorite because right now everyone kind of hates him at the same time.
He's a name brand is where you're getting.
He's a name brand. There you go. I like that. Yeah. Thank you. So for Luke Harper to be like, I'm there, but I'm not there, is understandable. At the same time, okay, then who loses their spot or who goes elsewhere? And I hate to say, we might have even joked about it a couple years ago now when it was the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, and it's like whoever wins loses.
Yeah, they do every single time. It doesn't make any sense. Like, how do you get the trophy then and then have it go right back to the beginning? You know what I mean? But I think that also, with answering that own question, is a lot of the times back before they really were kind of just spreading out that like all the championships to everybody. That way they could say, oh, The Miz is a 3-time Intercontinental Champion and Sheamus is a former World Heavyweight Champion. You know what I mean? Not taking anything away from them, but at a really early stage in their career. So, it's kind of the same thing that they did with that Andre the Giant deal. But yeah, I mean, I think that they're learning their lesson, especially with the new people that they have in charge of the main shows and everything like that. I think that it's going like people are going to start feeling more complacent and happy and stuff like that, especially in a time where, as Greg is saying here, that it's a great day to be a wrestling fan.
It is. It is such a great day.
Did you like how I ended that sentence? Because I really liked how I ended that sentence.
It is a great day to be a wrestling fan, Tim. Thank you, Greg, for shining.
That was a
there.
sweet segue into you being able to say whatever you said, and I was trying to not be super like, yeah, I killed that. And I just totally did. All right, but continue. Medicine is working. Medicine is working.
There's a trend that you have, Tim. There's a trend. Maybe this is your intervention, Tim. Bring out the wife. We're gonna talk.
Why are all these chairs set up in a circle?
Anyway, Tim.
Yeah.
So in this tag match that now we have totally derailed from.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get back to, yes, of course, it's a great day to be a wrestling fan. It's a great week to be a wrestling fan. It's always good to be a wrestling fan.
Always.
So we do have Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns taking on Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. Bryan is now upset with Rowan. Previously upset with Roman Reigns. Can Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns survive a team unit of Eric Rowan, and Luke Harper?
Well, the question here, Phil, is that will Roman Reigns be able to survive all three of them when they put that band back together? That old Wyatt family band that they had. Because that's what I think is going to happen.
Oh, that they're going to join up with The Fiend?
No, not with The Fiend. I'm just saying the three of them are going to have a threesome. Not like a threesome. But like they're going to become a trio. Phil. They're going to it's actually a swerve, and this will be my half point, so I'm going to go with Brody and Luke Harper, but the swerve is that they're going to do the Eric Young and Kevin Nash versus the Wolfpack and TNA finish where Daniel Bryan's going to turn on Roman Reigns and then join the other two sort of deal. So that's my half point for this.
So Daniel Bryan turns and joins
Luke Harper and Eric Rowan.
Joins Rowan and Luke. Okay.
Rowan and Luke. They should go as Rowan and Luke.
It sounds too almost Star Warsy. And just for the sake of it, I'm going Daniel.
I am your father.
I am not going to disagree with you about.
And I'm your father? You're not going to disagree with me that I'm your father?
That too, Tim. I'm not going to disagree with you about Bryan turning on Reigns, but I think they're going to win the match.
Yeah.
I do, and I think then after the match, we'll see other shenanigans between all four. I think all four of them are going to have a moment.
I think that's a good, even better move because, Bryan will be like, yeah, I'm a competitor. I like to win. That could be a sweet line that he says in the promo. So I like that. And I like how you put it on mute, too, so that nobody can hear you typing. That was a good move.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I just wanted to, I don't know if you're over there being like, but nobody can hear it because you had it on mute.
I was coughing a bit. So
okay. All right.
I was trying to be a professional, Tim.
No, I like it. I appreciate it.
I'm at the tail end of a cold.
Oh, the tippy tail end of the cold?
I hope so because
you need to cut that tail off. All right.
That's what that means. The last three times I've gone to Iowa and come back, I've had 2 of those 3 times I've had pneumonia. So I'm hoping I get whatever is in me out before tomorrow.
There's a lot of farms in Iowa, right?
There is.
Yeah. So could it be just like cow shit getting into the air and then going right into your throat? Is there a way? No, that's a thing, Phil.
I would not.
That is a farmer thing. Look it up. Google it.
I'm not going to Google cow shit in my throat. Okay.
Hashtag cow shit in my throat. Please, everybody, in the comments down below, whether you're watching us here or on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/4674, or watching us on Twitter. But Phil, where else can people listen to us if for this podcast if they can't do the whole show right now?
They can listen to us on Stitcher, on Apple Podcasts, on Google Play, on iHeartRadio. I'm forgetting all the other places. There's so many places.
Wherever you can find
your great podcasts.
Phil, it's us. Phil, this was a fantastic little live read, impromptu, that we just did right out of the gate here. Not bad, Phil.
Okay, yay! Score 1 for us. Score 5 for us. We each get 5 points today.
Yes, 5 points. We're at 1.
13-13.
Yeah. Okay. You're hating this today. Why are you hating this whole thing?
I don't know, Tim. I feel like
1,000 points for Phil. Phil's the ultimate champion. Way to knock the game, Phil. All right.
My rhythm feels weird and off, and I'm sick, and
John goes. It's like pink eye for the throat.
Oh, John.
Oh, nasty. Oh, so good. That's so bad. Not bad, John.
Tim.
Phil.
How about our semi-main event, Tim?
A semi-main event on this 3-match card.
Semi-main event, Tim.
That should be my name. What can that be my nickname? Semi-main event, Tim.
I'm just gonna shrink it to semi.
Oh. And then I'm gonna be blacklisted from Twitter, right? Once my name goes from that's something that the WWE would do, is they would now start me as semi-main Tim, and change it to semi, and then let me go for sexual harassment or something like that. Something stupid. No? Okay. What's your semi-main then, Phil? Stay on track, will you?
It's a Hell in the Cell match for the WWE Raw Women's Championship.
Oh, okay. Who's in this one, Phil?
Your champion, Becky Lynch, defends against the boss, Sasha Banks.
Yes.
Sasha's got a bus now, too.
She's got a bus?
She's got a brand new hairdo and a bus.
Like a bus? Like a
bus.
Like a bus?
She has her own WWE supplied tour bus.
No shit. That's a pretty boss move, if you ask me. Yeah. You have a sound they were going to hit?
I was looking for a sound, but keep going, Tim.
So how did we get here, Phil?
Oh, my God. I'm like trying to do 3 things at once.
All right.
So,
Sasha became a crybaby. Let's start that.
So Sasha returned on Raw, beat up Natty Neidhart. Sasha comes out to save Natty. They face off for the Raw Women's Championship at Clash of the Champions. The match ended in disqualification. And the win was for Banks, but Lynch retained the title since they don't change hands over a disqualification. After the match, the two brawled through the arena. The next night on Raw, Banks challenged Becky Lynch to a rematch, and Lynch accepted.
Nice.
And, they're continuing their hatred and rivalry this past week on Raw. Brand new set on Raw to start off Premiere Week. Season opener of Raw. There was a brand new set. Man comes out, watches Sasha Banks' match, tapes herself up as she's watching the match, like as if she's going to run in. They get into another little fracas. So now going into this Sunday, it's Becky Lynch, the current reigning Raw Women's Champion, against Sasha Banks.
This is a really hard match to call. I mean, let's think about it. Like, I just don't. Do you feel like it's time for a change on that belt?
I feel it's gonna come. I don't know if this is the time for it. It's not the time for it. I'm gonna just go ahead and call it Becky Lynch.
See, I like that idea too. I like that idea too with her obviously being on the cover of the video game that just is coming out this month.
Right.
But the part of it that I don't like is with the whole season opener, and they have to really make some serious changes as far as their competition that they have now. They're turning up the heat, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more with Raw and how they opened Raw this past week. But to the point of, are they going to keep the belt on her?
They stiff.
Okay. Are they going to change up the card this time? I would say I think so. So I'm going to go against you. I'm going to go Sasha on this one.
Okay.
Because I think that they're looking for a change, and as we always say, or as I always say, the money on all this booking is the face chasing the heel, and they have a good enough heel for them to do it now with Sasha.
You're not wrong. And, they got a lot of juice out of the they did a Sasha mini documentary, like what happened to Sasha after, I think it was after Clash of Champions, and it was, her story of, I stepped away and it was really rough to see what people thought. There was these stories of I collapsed in the lobby of the hotel, but if that happened, we live in a cell phone age. Nobody caught it on camera. Nobody caught it on a cell phone.
No one reported it to the police.
Right.
And
so
any
point. Good.
No, I'm just razzing. Continue. I said there was nothing. There wasn't anything.
Right. And I was surprised that they actually talked about her husband, who also works for the WWE in a non-wrestling capacity.
Kid Kamikaze, right?
Right, Kid Kamikaze. Love Mikaze. And I only bring that up because in a way that you showcase some of your talent, making them single and attainable, is always been sort of something that they've kept hidden and protected a little bit. And now they're talking about, oh, she's married now. And it's like, does that like help to distinguish her as this individual, and how she operates? She talked about just having to find herself and trying to make it back. It was, it really was about showing her as the sympathetic person, and that she had to combat just her inner self, inner emotions in order to make this comeback happen.
Yeah, that's the narrative, Phil. That doesn't. I don't think that that's completely real. I think that was just her trying to have it so that she was trying to save some face,
And they covered it well. It does not ever say like, I left because I was ... It doesn't say like I left because I was unhappy with this decision, or it was a lot of like, I had to find myself. I had to deal with myself. I had to deal with the things I was thinking about. I haven't heard my own name in 5 years. I had to, I know I think it was longer than that. Yeah. Everyone calls me Sasha.
It sounds like they hired a good fucking writer is what it sounds like to me.
And if they did, I mean, great. It did come off really well and showcased her in a great light, and gave a little bit more to the reveal of her return. So it was interesting and nice to see.
The problem is that there's a lot, because of the production value on those sorts of things that they do, it's so high and it's so good that it just makes it so that we have deep in our hearts, since we're so fucking big wrestling fans at the end of the day, that it makes us believe that there's some sort of truth in some of the things that they put in there. And that's why I'm trying to be as opposite as possible, saying that what we had known from dirt sheets and everything like that very well could be true. But you know what I mean? Like, but it could very well could be true, or they're just trying to just spin the narrative so that we never think about that again. Because like they do that shit all the time, and that's all I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. My brain started to go down this whole path of dirt sheets and, people talking smack and things that they don't know about, and rumors and why things happen, and, do they know Dave Meltzer and, all that kind of.
Like, for instance, and this one just popped in my head, so we can say whatever it is. But, like, they announced this week on the dirt sheets that John Morrison, quote unquote, is coming back to the WWE.
Right.
Because what if it was an insane deal where Johnny Elite shows up on AEW because they put the fucking news story out? Do you think that could happen?
I think we're in this crazy age where anything can happen, and I can't remember.
Like Chris Jericho was like, "Oh, if he's coming in, why don't we do this? Because that'll make some speculation."
And I can't remember if I talked about this on this show, but like, there are so many creative people in the WWE and AEW and all sorts of other places who do things like this, like people putting out false stories to put themselves over in a different light. It happens all the time. It's happened in the entertainment industry forever. That's why people hire publicists, for example. And then in the wrestling realm, it gets crazier. I remember, I don't know if I should say, I remember when OVW was a WWE developmental territory, and there was all these stories about how horrible of a person somebody was in particular, that they had all this ego, that they never helped, they never did this, they never did that.
Bill
and I knew
DeMott?
some. No. an OVW developmental talent, not a coach. And I remember I knew somebody down there at that time, and as we talked, I brought up that person's name, and they were like, "Oh my God, I love him, and he's great." And da 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 da. And I was like, how is he to like work with, and like, is he really like helping everybody with everything, like cleaning up the place and da 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 da. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, he's the first one to grab a broom and sweep up the floor," and it's like, oh. Okay,
That's weird.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And in my brain, I was like, I can't believe I was dumb enough to sort of buy this weird narrative that was out there about how somebody was inappropriately acting, but yet still had a job.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, who could have put that out there?
Right.
Exactly. Hello, Jonathan. How are you?
So, Tim.
Yes.
Are you ready, Tim?
No, because we got to take a quick little break. We'll be right back. Let me hit the button, actually. Uh-oh.
Tim, what'd you do? Did you break the show again?
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Can't finish the show in just one sitting? No problem. Listen to this and past episodes of the Tim Zabriskie Show on demand on all major podcasting networks, including Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, and the iHeartRadio app. It's perfect for the ride home.
It's time! It's time! It's Vader time!
If you owned a DeLorean time machine that afforded you incredible access to amazing adventures, would you risk losing it all to attempt a speed record? Probably not, but I did. Join me and the mayor himself as we take you through the journey of building and then racing an infamously temperamental car, hoping to make it the fastest DeLorean in the world.
Why don't you just tell the story? It's my brother. Dude. Then why tell the story?
He's the one who sent the video that I put on Facebook that 7,000 people saw. All of that was a lie. I gotta put myself in danger?
Babe, yeah. What shirt are you wearing?
My Tim Zabriskie Show shirt.
Phil!
Tim
Zabriskie Show shirts. They're sweet, right, Phil?
They are sweet, Tim.
I know you like it because I see that you're rocking it right now. Bam! Look at that.
See?
Phil, how much are these shirts? How much did they go for? How much did you pay for that shirt, Phil?
I paid nothing, Tim.
Yeah,
because
okay.
I'm on the show, Tim.
Yeah, that's right. Now, how much does everybody else have to pay, Phil?
$5,000, Tim.
Is that why no one's buying them? Oh shit! Oh, no, that was great.
$5,000.
I just got worried that the video just repeated itself, but because you said it again. Oh my god! $5,000. Oh, put a little reverb on you, Phil. Hold on, wait. We'll do it. One last.
Tim is breaking the show again. Thank you, Jonathan.
All right, now do it again.
$5,000.
Yes. All right, let me turn off the.
I was not a rosebud.
Sammy actually, he sounds pretty cool like that, though. To me.
I am going to say, like, there was nothing better than having this random mix of Sammy quotes on your phone. When you go to the gym and have your music on random, and forgetting you have transported Sammy quotes on your phone, and then all of a sudden you hear, I was not a rosebud. I don't remember what I was doing. I just started to laugh out loud in the gym.
Dude, that's wicked funny. That's hilarious.
Wicked funny? I didn't think you were that New England, Tim.
We're close. We're like right there. Oh, hey.
That is true. That is very true.
I don't know. Wicked. That was wicked funny.
Wicked funny.
It's wicked funny. Man, we were starting to get like a little popularity across the country, but slowly but surely, as this podcast continues, different parts of the country are pulling out. Is what it is.
Oh no.
We just ruined our rep in New England. Iowa. I just told everyone that Iowa smells and. Yep. Yeah. Man. All right, Phil. Main event.
It is time.
You gotta do the squeaky voice. Squeaky voice.
My squeaky voice, Tim?
Yes.
Don't like this, Tim. Do you like this voice, Tim? I didn't know I had a squeaky voice, Tim. It sounds amazing. I need to come up here. Tim, it's time now for your ham sandwich, Tim.
Oh, that sounds creepy.
Well, it is October. Tim, this ham sandwich is for you. It's for the Universal Champion. Do you want to be afraid, Tim? Because not. Because you should be more afraid, Tim, because it's gonna be Seth Rollins versus the Fiend. Ware. Wow.
What else? You got anything else? Or?
That was it. Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt, ladies and gentlemen, for the WWE Universal Championship in Hell in a Cell. I got to turn my light back on. Okay.
That's hilarious. All right, so let's get into this one here, Phil. I've as soon as Bray Wyatt came back as the Fiend, I've just thought it's fantastic. The whole thing. You know what I mean? It's just it's new, it's fresh, it's refreshing, and it's really not that new. It's just the same thing that they've tried to do with a whole bunch of people beforehand. Like, and Phil, there's certain people that they try to do like demon-y sort of stuff with in the past. Like, who are some of your favorites that they tried to do?
I mean, well, if you talk demon-y, it's Finn Balor. When he becomes the Demon Finn.
Yeah, but he's not like evil. He's kind of like He's
You're
like
talking
kind of
about
like a cute superhero. Like,
Right.
I'm the demon. I'm here to pull the cat down from the tree for you.
Then my last final favorite evil demon was Bray Wyatt when he inherited the powers of the Undertaker and Kane for a week.
Yeah.
A week, Tim.
Yeah. And then he gave him
a week.
He gave him right back. He could have done some cool shit with that. And they could
He
have
still could be doing cool shit with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe the Fiend does the same thing at WrestleMania. You know? That would be awesome. That would actually be fantastic.
What if Sister Abigail is really like the sister of the Undertaker?
and she's 7 foot tall and is a mare.
And Bray wasn't following his sister. It was really the Undertaker's sister. And that's how they're all connected. Hashtag I am the multiverse.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be some weird stuff.
My brain is a comic book.
They're gonna have to start getting all demonic soon, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Tim.
What did you think of the Ministry of Darkness angle? The whole thing.
Well, I mean, because it wasn't just the Ministry at that time. Remember, you had the Ministry of Darkness, you had the Corporation, you had I feel like there was another faction I'm forgetting about.
Los Baricuas, yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's it. And was that during or that was after the NWO?
That was during the same time.
Right. So I'm like, what?
It's a weird like main storyline that happened that was like, going on for a while that no one talks about. It's like that part of the whole like McMahon Austin.
The one thing they talk about is the hanging of Big Boss Man.
Yeah, which is ironic when you think about what picture.
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah. No, actually, yeah, no, but yeah, I don't know. I thought when they for a little while when they put the Corporation and the Ministry of Darkness together, the corporate ministry, I thought that was a sweet time. And then they put the songs together, and I was like, "This is wicked badass."
I was gonna say, totally lost it. I feel like, you know, for this long time that it was like they were positioning Bray to do something more, to take that next step, to be this almost iconic figure, and then like they kept pulling it away.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is weird. Why are they like, they're right there, they're teetering, and they're doing everything right to sort of get him there, but they're not giving it to him. And it's like,
are you talking throughout the years or in the past?
Throughout the years,
okay,
yeah. You know, I do, and I think just over the course of his, just as time as Bray Wyatt,
yeah,
that he has had so many of those opportunities, and then they just kind of seemingly like just kind of went away, and never a bad reason associated. Like I've never heard anybody say bad about Bray Wyatt. Like on a personal level, on a backstage level, rumors of things have never been about like how, you know, he's such a jerk and, you know, he's doing these horrible things to people's gear bags.
Didn't he have an affair with JoJo?
Was that a thing? I was trying to think. Like I feel like there might have been.
They're having a kid.
May have been a sex thing. But
they're having a child together.
Yeah,
it was a real thing.
Is he having an affair with JoJo, or I don't remember. To be honest, I can't remember. I don't want to speak on that because I just don't remember.
Somebody write in the comments.
Right.
Because Phil's not gonna research it right now.
I'm looking it up like right this second.
I'm telling you. I'm pretty certain he had a wife, and that JoJo was the road fling that turned into love.
Oh yeah, there was a thing. They had two children together. And then she filed for divorce after discovering his affair with
JoJo. Yes.
JoJo Offerman.
Yeah. So he's got a little bit of backstage awesomeness to him. All right.
He kept it in the family?
Did he?
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna skip.
All right, phone number, everybody: 518-350-4312.
The love of God, Tim. You don't.
We are still on the air.
Wyatt's personal life with JoJo. Tim.
Their next kid that they're having is named K Nash. Did you read that?
Didn't.
K Nash. He named his child after Kevin Nash.
How do you know that?
K, the letter K, Nash. Tell me about the long lineage of K Nashes in the world, okay? K Nash. Who do you think he named this kid after?
Did that even more cements his legacy as somebody who could have a bigger epic opportunity in the annals of wrestling and
annals, Phil.
Okay, whatever, and just hasn't. Whatever it is, like we all love Bray, everybody loves Bray, JoJo loves Bray, and I'm hoping this is his opportunity. I know that there are people who are mad when they first saw him. Not just doing the Playhouse. The Playhouse thing was like, what the hell is this craziness? Right. Then it was like, oh gosh, this is their next way of burying Bray. And then they turned on the Fiend, and it was like, yeah, kind of awesome.
Once again, I want to find out who this writer is, Phil. This really good writer that they put on 4 months ago.
Right. And then seemingly, it's all going well. And then people got upset because it was like, wait a minute, we've seen this, Ringhouse Carnival announcer look, crazy circus pants and Joker clown face on the indies for 5 years with several different people. And now it's the Bray gimmick. And I was like, guys, get over it. Like it's his, move on. Like,
yeah. Everybody's got to take a claim. Oh, because Bray Wyatt must have watched one of these guys at some point.
And
jeez.
I was going to take a dig at somebody so bad.
Do it.
Baron Corbin is directly named off independent wrestling talent Darren Corbin because one of the WWE writers knew Darren, and he pitched the name and then was like, oh, I'm sorry, bro. So like when you say that, I'm like, yeah, I totally would not be shocked actually if that was but so is now Bray has attacked legends. He's been after Seth Rollins, attacked him at the end of Raw. After a very weird closing segment of Raw,
right?
That saw Lana make her. Well, first saw Rusev return.
Yeah, I missed. I only saw the clip of them making out because I know that's where you're going. But like, how did they even get into the ring together? I didn't see any of that.
Let's tell the progression, and I missed a little bit of this. But so what's happening is during the highest rated segment of
what happened was
The Miz brought out Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, and at Crown Jewel on Halloween Day, it will be Team Flair versus Team Hogan, a 5-on-5 match between these two teams. Team Hogan will be captained by Seth Rollins. Team Flair will be captained by Randy Orton.
Okay.
On Team Hogan, joining Seth Rollins was the returning Rusev. And then on the stage, out comes Bobby Lashley.
Right.
Who's like, hey, I have somebody too. Out comes Lana. They proceed to make out on the stage. And then lights go out. And you see Bray Wyatt attacking Seth Rollins with the mandible claw.
Jesus.
It was weird and surreal.
All I can think of is Bobby Lashley in the back, like,
hey, girl. Lana, if we're going to do this angle right, baby, we got to do a little bit of practicing.
Ooh.
Girl, we're going to have to do a little bit of making out.
It's like they're trying to rehash the Deborah McMichaels gimmick.
Yeah, they're trying to give it to him.
I'm just saying. Deborah, not Mongo. I'm saying for Lana.
Yeah, I get it. All of a sudden, Deborah comes back too to be with Bobby, right? Yeah.
Anyway,
moving on
from that one. Meanwhile, Seth has been trying to fend off attacks, saying he'll face anybody, everybody. Issued the challenge to Bray Wyatt. Obviously, Bray Wyatt has accepted. So now it'll be The Fiend versus Seth Rollins. Tim, who do you got?
I don't know, Phil. I really want it to be Bray. I do. What are they going to do with Phil? Let's look at the business. Let's think about everything that's going on right now. All Elite Wrestling, Phil, AEW. I know we're not supposed to talk about them on this show.
Yeah, we can today.
We can today. We only have 3 matches. But All Elite Wrestling, Phil, they are being backed behind how fantastic and how athletic all of their guys are. And how they all do all these really cool things. Young Bucks and Kenny and all these guys. That's what the basis of the whole match is. Who do they want? Who does the WWE want on their side to really have that same credibility?
So
then not Bray Wyatt, then Seth Rollins. You know what I mean? They want someone that does all the Asha Pack stuff for all the promotional material and whatnot. They're gonna start pulling out soon.
So it's weird and interesting to me that I think we've seen teases of more kind of adult content in the WWE. Not like full out, not the way it used to be, but just like these little sort of hints. Closing out Raw with Lana making out with Bobby Lashley on the stage. We saw a little bit of moments where a production guy walks in on oh my gosh, why did my brain just totally have a moment? Anyway, you see production guys walking in on some of the lady talents, female talents. You see all sorts of different things that it's like, I don't know.
Say it slow, Phil.
I can't remember the name. My brain has totally forgotten names.
No, I'm saying talk about the storylines because I put romantic music on behind you.
Oh, so Tim. Production guys walking in the ladies' locker room. Tim, Lana making out with Bobby Lashley. Tim. The Fiend carrying his head in a lantern. Tim. That might not be romantic.
But you gotta let him know how his mouth was.
And then he's jamming his fit. I mean, okay.
Oh.
And wow. To then do a mandible claw, Tim. Just a mandible claw. Right here. Yeah. Pressure. And screen. It hurts.
It hurts. Yes. We got that. Yes.
I'm dying. I'm totally dying. So is the opportunity for Bray Wyatt to become this demonic champion, an opportunity? Could this be a more violent Seth Rollins, a more adult content Seth Rollins than what we've been seeing? I saw very recently in an interview where Seth Rollins was it was being complained that, not an interview, but an opinion article that Seth was kind of getting bland, that he was the man's man, that he was
he's like the support character to Becky.
And to the WWE in many respects, that he would be in an interview and they're like, we're gonna ask you a serious question. He's like, yeah, really? Yeah, that's how it is. Thanks. And would walk away.
Wow, that was actually a very, very fantastic impression. I believed in it. That's how you know it was good, Phil. I believed in that.
Thank you, Tim.
That impression you did there.
But I think there's a lot of questions of what is substantive, and that people were feeling okay, we want more from Seth Rollins, but he's in a spot where it's what more can he give? Because if he gives more, then he's in this whole tweener territory of which there's so many now, and it's do you really want to kind of go there? You meanwhile, while Becky's doing that, and you've built that storyline together. Yeah. So where do you go? Where do you go?
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
So are you gonna say, Tim Zabriskie? Are you gonna go Bray Wyatt or Seth Rollins?
Oh man, am I gonna go Bray Wyatt or Seth Rollins? Who do you guys have? 518-350-4312. If you want to join in the deflection of me trying to make this decision, feel free to call in. Yeah, phone lines are still open. Phil, the question was, if you had forgotten, who's going to go over, Bray Wyatt or
Seth Rollins?
Seth Rollins. I almost said Finn Balor there. That would have been a treat. Phil, Phil, I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins here. I think that the whole thing, Phil, is that they need him right now. He is turning himself into the Bret Hart of this whole thing right now. You know, really strong workhorse. You know, more over to himself than he maybe is on TV. But and I don't mean that in a mean way. Even though, yeah, I mean, I guess there's no way of faking that one, but no, I'm just saying, like, I think that he's the one that's going to carry us through this war as the Universal Champion.
Yeah,
you know, so I'm going to go with him.
I have to agree with you. It's Rollins. Yeah. It has to be Rollins. Certainly not the end of what we would see from Bray. I think you're going to see all sorts of level of crazy in this match. Right. I think I can't remember how long ago it was now, definitely over a year when we saw that Randy Orton Bray Wyatt match where they're trying to do videos on the ring and like all sorts of craziness, and there's spiders and lizards and worms and craziness. Mm-hmm. So part of me is like, are they going to try to amp that up again, that it's going to be like full on demonic possession in a wrestling ring? Hell, it really will be hell in a cell. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued in seeing what they do. In a way, I'm like, I hope this is not the end of their rivalry. I hope this is just a transition into something more, something bigger. What that is, I really don't know. I can't say. I feel like there's something more we're not seeing yet. Mm-hmm. But I have to agree, it's going to be Rollins.
I know, and even you just saying that, even though you were agreeing with me, I'm starting to have second thoughts, and that's what the problem is.
If you want to change, Tim,
I know, it's like, oh, do I change? Do we do it?
I'll give you
because the whole thing though is that I'm thinking about it right now. They are going absolutely dog shit crazy for the Fiend right now. You know, so that itself, with the same argument that we're saying, it's just like, does the Fiend become the new Sting in this whole thing? You know, if they do this right, they could have that.
Right.
Where maybe the Fiend goes away for a little while after this match. Obviously, we're sticking with Seth. This is how I see it, Phil. The Fiend goes away for a little while now. Now that we got this sweet fucking tease of him in the past 4 months. You know, even though, as you said before, they really set the path for how insane the Fiend is by doing that really kiddie stuff before, like with and they still do it with, you know, the Playhouse, the Fun Time, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I think that this is the big opportunity for the Fiend to really cement himself, and then he falls again, and then we start seeing him in the rafters. You know what I mean? We just see like the mask. Yeah, I see him becoming Sting. He's going to go away. He's going to be mysterious. And then when they need that big baby face, when some other heel comes around, then he's going to come back, you know?
The way they've also done all this stuff with the Fiend has been so, I mean, there's the upfront stuff, like there's stuff in the Funhouse. There's stuff, of course, him attacking people. But then what people keep catching are like, oh, there's one of his puppets randomly in the set as people walk by.
Yes. That's an old thing. They used to do that stuff all the time.
I mean, yeah, but now but people are picking up on it now, and so it's becoming like little Easter eggs that are like, oh, what does this mean?
Yeah.
And I like that. Like, again, I'm a big story guy, and like I love that kind of stuff. And like part of me is like, I hope one day like the I think they just killed the rabbit. But one of the characters like randomly comes to life and like jumps and attacks one of the wrestlers and like, evil demonic Vince boss puppet. I don't think they call it the Vince puppet. Starts attacking like, I don't know, Buddy Murphy.
Yeah.
So we're both going Rollins. Tim, we have our 3 matches. Tim for Hell in a Cell. Tim.
Yeah. And All Elite probably has started by now, right?
It has 15 minutes ago, Tim.
All right. Well, then fine, Phil.
Because it's Wednesday night Dynamite.
It's Dynamite. Phil,
Dynamite.
What song do you want to hear us out for it with?
Staying Alive.
Okay.
I was digging our entrance music. I was really digging it.
The Back in Black?
Yeah. The like monochromic 8-bit music.
Oh,
I was digging.
You want that again?
I was digging it.
Yeah, I can get you that, Phil.
Or should we play it? It's TNT. It's dynamite. It's TNT. It's out of sight. It's TNT.
Yeah, we'll...
I have a feeling it's called It's Dynamite, but I don't know where to go.
All right. Yeah, I was definitely typing TNT. You know where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
AC/DC. Come on. Don't be so fucking difficult. Nope, this isn't it either. This is the wrong one. All right, Phil. I think they've had enough of us. Up. Wait, Facebook is calling. They said we're done. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for stopping by. And make sure you follow, like, and subscribe either here or on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/TimmyZ4674. And Phil, if they can't find us here, where can they listen to us in the car?
They can listen anywhere great podcasts are found. Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. Everywhere you find great podcasts, you can find The Tim Zabriskie Show.
That's right. And if we don't see you, catch us outside. How about that? No? Okay.